So one of the advantages Apple has had over the competition for years now has been how all of their devices just work together. Whereas on the Android and Windows fronts, we haven't really seen anything that's come close to it. Like, sure, there's Windows Link, and that's definitely a step forward, but again, it just doesn't match the way Apple has done it. But today, we're taking a look at something that does. We've partnered up with Honor for this video, who sent out a bunch of their new devices that they say all work together seamlessly through their MagicRing software across 8 different services at the same time. So the first thing we'll test is using their new Magic 6 Pro, where we can project the phone screen right onto the laptop. You can do this in a number of different ways. We haven't logged into the Honor ID yet, so we'll just scan this QR code. But if you are logged in, you can just do this straight from the PC without even having to touch the phone. But either way, after a few seconds, bam, we have an Android device on our laptop. Now, this isn't technically anything new. While the iPhone can't do it, there are other Android phones that can with Windows Link, but what is different here is the quality of the stream. With Honor's implementation just seeming like it has a higher resolution, a higher bitrate, and overall less latency, to the point where you can actually jump into a game like Alto's Adventure and play it full screen without much of a problem. Scrolling through the interface and jumping in and out of apps also just works like you'd expect it to. And you can even do things like dragging and dropping your photos from your phone onto your desktop. So I'll just go ahead and go in here, tap on a photo, and drag it over to my desktop, and bam, it works. There it is. We got 3 different photos transferred. Outside of apps though, you can also copy and paste text from the phone over to the PC and vice versa, which could become useful if you have data logged into an app that you're not able to sync anywhere else, so that way you can just transfer it by copying and pasting. But probably more useful than streaming your phone's screen onto your laptop is this option here where you can instantly tether your phone's data connection to the laptop. You can also do this straight from the MagicRing interface, and it's perfect for situations like when you're traveling and you don't have access to Wi-Fi, where you can actually rely on your phone's data connection to give you internet anywhere you go. It's pretty cool. Another thing you could do from this Honor PC Manager is back up your photos and videos in a more streamlined way, where earlier we took some photos with the Magic 6 Pro, which in addition to its variable aperture and its crazy 180 megapixel periscope, it has a mode that uses AI to capture fast moving action, which we demoed here with me jumping over this chair, and it caught the snap right where you'd want it, which is pretty impressive. Anyways, with just a couple of clicks, I could transfer as many photos as I want by hitting back up, and it was that fast. It just instantly transfers it over to my computer, at which point I can edit or share them however I like, which is really nice. But everything we've covered so far has just been the tip of the iceberg. And where things get really interesting is what you can do with a foldable or a tablet. So for this demo, we're gonna use the Magic V2 Porsche design, which is arguably the best looking foldable on the planet right now. Where because we're logged into the same Honor ID on both the laptop and the phone, we're able to connect with a single click. And bam, you can have the phone act as a second display. This is huge for anybody that travels, where you can have your phone mirror what's on your PC, or you can have it act as a second monitor for Windows. So we'll just go ahead and tap on this extend option, and you can see it becomes a second screen where I can drag things over into it and like use the Windows snap features or do whatever else I would with a second monitor, and it just works. But maybe more impressive in this software is the share feature, where you can use the laptop's mouse and keyboard to control not just the PC, but also the phone, with it automatically switching between Windows and Android as you move the cursor around. It actually works across multiple devices, so if we put the Magic 6 Pro on the left side, we can move the cursor from the 6 Pro over to the PC, and then from the PC over to the foldable, not only being able to drag and drop files from one to the other, which is impressive in its own right, but you can also drag full-on apps. For example, you can take an Excel document that you're working on your phone and drag it over to the PC, picking up right where you left off. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before, and the fact that you can drag and drop content from one operating system to the other, with one being made by Google and the other Microsoft, is pretty mind-blowing. And taking things to the next level, in addition to everything we've already talked about, you can also use the phone's camera right on the PC. So in this Notes app, for example, we just hit the gallery icon, select phone, and the camera interface automatically pops up on the phone, We can snap a photo, tap the little check mark, and almost instantly we have a photo right there in our Notes app. I mean, that was really fast. But it doesn't stop at this first-party Notes app. It's a system-level connection where you can actually see the cameras connected in the settings for Windows, for both the front and the rear camera, meaning it can work in third-party apps as well, so you can pop into Zoom, start a call, and switch between the laptop's internal camera to the phone's much higher resolution rear camera, which, you know, is something we've seen on the Apple side of things, but not something we've seen on the Android side. And then, just like Windows Link, you obviously still have the option to receive calls right on the laptop without having to pull your phone out, which is really convenient. And it's the same thing when you receive a text message where you get a pop-up notification right there at the bottom, and then you reply right there in line. So kudos to Honor for making this happen. It's really nice to see competition on this front, and to finally have an Android phone that can just work seamlessly across a range of products, from Honor's tablets to their PC. I hope more companies start taking Honor's lead, because tech that works together is just better. But anyways, that is it for me in this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.